everybody, what's going on?
Hey, how you doing?
That's live. Yeah.
What's up,
How you
man?
doing?
Awesome. So I'm really excited to be here. Really excited. Got a chance to connect with Mike at the ClickFunnels event, and Van is actually one of my boys. So it's pretty exciting to come and do those live. And I love the energy that's in the room. I love the fact that everybody's so excited. I mean, we are a bunch of crazy people. It's like midday for you guys. It's like 3 o'clock for me. I'm on the West Coast, but guess what? Crazy people change the world, man. We are changing the world, and that's the amazing part about what we do. So I really appreciate Brandon for actually giving me the space so I can come on here and share some stuff with you guys. Big shout out to Mike. Big shout out to Vin. I see what they do in the community, and I know you guys are in good hands. You guys are making stuff happen. So my name is Keder. I started my business since 2012 in this field. I've been able to help a lot of people make a lot of money online. My main thing that I do right now is that I help people build and monetize brands, using the internet without showing their face in some cases. But my journey didn't start here where some people might see I got the 2 Comma Club. It didn't start here, right? We all started from the beginning, right? We started from the beginning. So I want to share some of the stories and some of the stuff that can motivate you. You guys are already in the place where you're learning information, you're growing, and having a group of people is what can really change your life and get you to move so fast. My background, I'm Haitian. I'm from Haiti. I came here when I was 14 years old. I went to high school. I had the same expectation with Caribbean parents is you either go to school, become a doctor, a lawyer, engineer, and trying to make it in the corporate ladder. That's the structure that is at least set for a lot of people. I don't know for some of you that's on the line, but for me, that was the structure, right? Parents says, hey, go to school, get good grades, and then you're going to make it. I followed that blueprint. That was the blueprint that was given to them. But my life changed when life happens. The things with entrepreneur is you're going to find that situation where life happened and where you're going to be presented with 2 choices, right? You can either choose the red pill or the blue pill. Which way you're going to go? Like a lot of us right now that's on this line, while a lot of people would think we are crazy, but it's because we have different dreams or we drink a different Kool-Aid, right? But the expectation at the end, the result is what makes us so excited. I mean, we come in here, people are excited. I can't wait to jump on making stuff happen and changing our lives. The expectation is a lot more than what we get. So this is where the story of my life changed, because when I started school, I was going to the program, making stuff happen, and then I got married. When I got married, life happens. When I got with my wife, she ended up losing her job. And when she lost her job, that's what really propelled me to get to where I'm at today. So just a little bit of background into who I am and what I do, because when I came online, I didn't have a teacher right from the get-go, but I plugged it into a system. I plugged it into a system that made things a lot easier. That is why coming into this call and having, how many people we have on the line right now? How many people we have on the line, Brendan?
We got 42 virtual, but we got another 16 here in the office working with you here. So you got about 60 people here.
60 people in here, right? So the crazy thing is coming on live like this and seeing information and seeing people share the story is what really changed the game for me. It wasn't about the tools, it wasn't about the system, but it's what makes it believable. Because I remember being that person right now, listening to that message, wife lost her job, going to school full-time, nursing school at the hospital, doing clinicals full-time, opening up the fridge, my light got cut off. And I'm like, I just got married. What am I going to do? I'm the only one working. And coming on those calls, those calls was my life. Like I was listening to that information whenever I was hearing people that had some type of success. When I came on those information, I was taking every notes because I'm like, someone here is going to allow me to change my life. So that's why I want to give a big shout out to Mike and to Brandon really for putting the stuff together, because there's people that has an easier way, right? Some people, we are addicted to doing things the hard way. When you tell them there's an easy way, in their mind, it's not validated. It doesn't make sense. Like there's no way you can tell me you can make $1 million, you can change your life You can become so much better than you are. You can do so much bigger things in your life. That was the mindset that I had, right? If I tell you you're the same person right now who can earn $1 million in 2023, would you believe me? You're the same person. Most people would think like, no way, it's impossible. I thought the same thing until I jumped on a training like this one with someone that was 20. The person that was speaking was actually 21 years old. It was a 21-year-old dude. And he was saying how he made $2.1 million using the internet blogging. That was in 2012. He was blogging on the internet and he made $2.1 million in a year. I said, no way, it's impossible. But here's the thing, he had undeniable proof that it was possible. So what I did, I brought down my ego and I said, you know what, let me learn from that person. You know, some of us, we have to starve our ego so that we can increase our outflow. Some of us, we have to starve our ego so that we can increase our outflow. And that was me in that position. When I jumped on that line, I said, hey, this guy is talking about how he did not even finish college. You know, he didn't even finish high school and he's earning that type of income. I need the path. I need to find a way on how to do it. So my mind became, I had to become open-minded at that moment because I lost my job. My wife lost her job. I'm working full-time at the hospital. I'm also going to clinical, which is working for free, not getting paid. So I had to become open-minded. I opened up the fridge. I got milk. There's no cereal. Does that ever happen to any of you right now? That's not crazy, right? You open up the fridge door. You say, man, I'm going to eat myself some cereal today. You got milk and there's no cereal. So that was my position. You know, I have to think about life and say, hey, what can I do? Is this stuff going to give me the results that I want, or can I continue the path that I'm following? So the thing is, most people that are not successful, they have a closed mind. You know, the most unsuccessful people that I know, they're usually so closed-minded and very skeptical. Usually, on the other hand, people that are successful, they are very open-minded. So I had to open up my mind at that time to receive that information. In order for me to receive, I had to be ready. So the thing is, right now, guys, you guys can get to the results a lot faster than I did, because I didn't have the blueprint, a system, like people around me, mentors that are cheering me up. Coming on this live, it's like, man, if you get that daily, man, you're going to get to your million so fast. You know, crazy thing right now. Let me see. You could do it. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. So, guys, we live in an era where everyone can build a business. Now, compared to when I first got started, you know, when I first got started, it was even harder. But there was a thing that was lacking when I first got started. When I first got started, the difference between the people that actually built a business and became successful and changed their lives and the people who didn't, the people who became successful, they had guts. That's what it took back then. But now you guys have access to a lot more information and training, you know, because the thing is, it's not a lack of information. The crazy thing is, it's not a lack of information there is right now. If anything, we live in a time of history where everyone have access to information. But do you know what's lacking? What's lacking is transformation. You know, and transformation only happens through guts and dedication. So if you become dedicated to the process, that's the only way you're going to transform your life. Right? Might be say it's not a lack of information. What's going on? What's up?
Those are bars right there, man. Those are bars, Keder.
Crazy. Bedinsky in the house. He's one of my students actually dealing with you guys. So that's awesome to actually see him on the line. So I know he's in good hands and he's making stuff happen with you guys, which is crazy. So you definitely have to have a blueprint, like someone that can provide you with a blueprint. For example, right now, by the end of the year, you can build $1 million brand online if you have the information and the dedication. These are the two things. You need the information and the dedication. Some people have the information, but they don't have the dedication. Some people might be dedicated to the process, but they don't have the information. There was a time I wanted to make it happen, but I didn't have access to the information. I was just going to the school system thinking that was the way. But when I realized people was making millions of dollars younger than me, I'm like, yo, there's not much of a difference between that guy and me. He has the same brand that I have. I hear him speak. I see some of the stuff he's saying. He's not that much smarter than me. I could do this. And sometimes that's all that it takes is that little sparkle of belief that you can make it happen. You know, by the end of the year, you can have built a business that makes millions of dollars. You know, I was talking about information, but right now it's even crazy. I feel like we live in an age that is so crazy, Brandon. Like right now, people have access to things that can make them millionaires so fast. You know, we're talking about information age, man. But
yeah,
right now we are entering in the age of AI, artificial intelligence, right? If you learn how to use robot, well, you can make millions this year, using the internet, using robots. There's no lack. I remember one of my first mentors, Alex Jeffrey, back in 2012, when I first got started, right? He said a quote to me. He was reading a book through Science and Men. And in the book, the quote said that in the near future, there will be a man, a dog, and a machine. The dog will be there to preserve the man from messing up the machine. I was like, what? There will be a man, a dog, and a machine. The dog will be there to prevent the man from messing up the machine. Right now, guys, we are in an age where even if I help people build brands where they don't even have to show their face and still make millions of dollars. We scale, I'm going to tell you a little bit of my story, how we scale a brand to my first brand that we scaled to $1 million without showing our face. That's how I discovered this whole thing. Like, okay, well, I mean, I can make money even without showing my face. Like, your face don't even have to be the brand unless you choose it to be the business, or unless you choose it to be behind the business. You don't have to even be like Mike and me, be on the camera and making the video. You could be making millions of dollars this year, even without showing your face. Have you guys heard, because there's a lot of noise right now about the software. I think maybe that's probably why I'm speaking that way. Have you guys heard of ChatGPT?
Yep.
Yeah.
Drop in the comment.
Yeah.
You guys heard of it? You
I'm a
love
rocket ship if you heard of it.
I've used it.
You've used it. So now, guys, we have access to softwares and tools like ChatGPT, which is totally crazy. You can write scripts for videos, emails, IG posts, literally in seconds. You can write ebooks. You can literally, products is just, digital products has come to an age where now you can, if you can get a crowd, you can get people together, products is not even a problem. You can literally, those software can do a better job than human being.
Yeah.
So in this year, many people will become rich just participating in this new economy. You can literally use robots to build brands without even showing your face. Let me give you 3 steps that you can actually do that, like that I follow. Can I share this stuff? Can I share like steps?
Keder, go in, Keder, go in. This is your
go in. Let's go. If you guys want to share this stuff, say go in. Just
go in.
Go in.
Go in, boy. Go in.
Go in.
Let's go. I like to share.
Bring it.
I like to share some value before I get into much. I know that's what allowed me to change my life. Seeing somebody teaching some value, giving me not just the what, but the how. Like, how are we gonna get there? I know what you got. I know you got a 2 Comma Club award. I know you got the $1 million house. I know you got the car. Like, how? I want to know how. Real entrepreneur, we can care less about the what, right? We just want to know the how. How can we get from A to Z? Give me the blueprint. Give me the blueprint, the process on how I can get there. And if I can create the dedication and consistency, I can get myself there. So 3 steps you need to do, right? You need to find a big idea. Find a big idea. Once you find a big idea, it's something that people can rally around, something that people can find themselves into. Like what happened with a lot of people, when I started to build a business, me personally, I was trying to build a business based on me, my personality, what I bring to the table, but I was fresh in the game. So my mentor, he was just crushing it. He had 7 years, 10 years of experience. He was crushing it. I'm new over here. I'm like trying to do what he's doing, but it's not working for me. And I'm so frustrating. Like, why it's not working for me? Why everybody's just winning? Like, it's not working for me. But I had to become that person. You know, for you to win at the level, you had to become that person. Even though you have a system, sometimes you have to become that person. But what I find out is if you can find a big idea that even if you can take yourself out of the picture, people will still stand behind that idea. You can make a bunch of money. Find a big idea, rally a crowd. The second thing you want to do, find a big idea. The second thing you want to rally a crowd behind that idea. Rally people behind that idea. I know Mike goes into traffic generation, these things with you. I'm not even going to go into that stuff, but that in case, like, you know, being able to build a community, to get people to build a tribe like we have right now. We have a big idea that coming into this stuff and the Closers Academy is a big idea. A lot of people want to be closers. A lot of people want to make more money. A lot of people want to learn sales and strategy. So it's a big idea. The world runs on sales. Where do people have the current knowledge of, yeah, it runs on sales or not, but everything you got to do, you got to learn how to sell. You got to sell it. So learning how to sell, that's a big idea that everybody can find themselves into, which is why you guys find yourself here with Mike. But selling is not the only big idea there is in the world. And that's what I find out, right? When I find out that there was so many other big ideas that people will rally themselves. Like some of you right now, you might be just getting started, but with the skill set that you learn from selling, there's a big idea that's inside of you right now that could potentially make you $1 million this year. But are you ready to implement this stuff, right? Are you ready to implement this stuff? That big idea can be the thing that change your life. And once you do that, you find a big idea, you want to rally a crowd behind it and get the people understanding traffic generation, some of the stuff that comes into play. And then the last thing is to monetize the process in the community. Once you get the community, you get the people, you monetize the process. I know let me ask you that, Brendan. Is everybody in here had to pay? Is this a paid group?
This is a paid group, Keder.
This is a paid group.
Yep.
So everybody in here had to pay something.
Everyone paid to play.
Yep. So like how many of you have your own paid group, your own things going on, and where you monetize the process, always thinking about how you can monetize the process. So you can monetize the process and monetize the community. Now, platforms make it so easy to monetize the process. Now, this is where the communities monetize, the people that's in the community, but the process can be monetized, where I don't even have to make a dime from the community, but I still make money if you understand monetization, which is the thing that a lot of platform is allowing you guys to do, is monetizing the process. And then you guys have the skill set of understanding how to monetize the community. It takes it to a whole next level. So you can easily create content. You can easily get paid from multiple platforms. Still hear my headset's moving. Monetize the process. Let's go. You can literally, take yourself to the next level this year, and you can build a business that requires no overhead and no upfront investment, because most other things you have to pay for manufacture, you have to pay for products, you have to pay for places, you can build a business now where you don't even have to put money up front, where you can sell product for free. You create the product and you just, once you have an audience, you can sell it for free and make money, right? So I want you guys to understand that.
Amen.
Amen.
Yeah.
Amen.
Yeah,
You don't need, look, because people get in their own way, huh, Keder? People will put things off and just say, oh, well, I'm waiting to get, $1,000 saved. I'm waiting to get $10,000. I'm waiting to get $100,000 saved up before I do X, Y, Z. And you're telling them, do X, Y, Z, and the money will come. You don't have to always have the overhead. You don't have to have all the business funding. You're saying it's taking action first and worry about the rest later. Is that right?
Bro, you just took it out of my mouth. I love the fact that Brendan, we would use excuses like, hey, you know what? When I get the 2 Comma Club award, I'll build a brand. When I get the nice Lamborghini, I start making videos. Or when I get the nice house in the mansion, I'll start. But meanwhile, what you just said right now, all you got to do is flip it. When you start making videos, you'll get the Lambo.
Oh,
that the call.
When you start putting work in your business, when you start building that business, then you'll get the house that you want. You'll get your dream. So all you got to do is flip it. Most of the time, like, you know, people look at the people who's already made it and not seeing the work they put in, because it's easy for us to flash the end results. And most people don't see the work that put in the last 5 years, the last 3 years, the last dedication time and learning and growing in the process so that they can get there. Yep. So, and that's the power, like you just said. You know, this is not possible with other businesses. You know, if people want to start a grocery store, they have to get the supply, they have to get the space, they have to spend money on marketing, you know, before they even start making money. On the other hand, you can build an online business in a niche for free. Start sharing content on multiple platforms and get paid from all of them if you have a blueprint and a strategy, if you know how to do it. Like, I'm not even gonna say for a lie, like you guys, Brendan, you have one of our students, his name is Fred. Like, he create faceless YouTube channel where he just create those channels and he monetize them, and now that's a business model. Like, he's literally learned how to create content on the internet for free, get the content that he doesn't even have to create, get the content for free and monetize the content. And he's making money off of that. So if you're consuming content right now on the internet, you might as well be in the production part of the content. If you produce content, you can create cash flow. And now if you know how to use tools now, you don't even have to produce content. Like Fred, you don't even have to make videos in order for him to make the money, right? So I remember I was with my wife, right? When my wife, and the story, how my car got repossessed, it was crazy. I wake up one day after we got laid off, you know, it was dark time, right? I don't know if you ever been in a situation in your life where life just throw a bunch of curveballs at you, but you just wasn't ready. Like, that was me. Like, I wasn't ready. When I got married to my wife, we both started brand new life together. Everything was new, you know, everything was new. We had new responsibility, new apartments, new bills, new car notes, you know. That time I was actually going to nursing school and she was going to college, but she ended up taking a break from college and start working a full-time job. And one day I walk in the apartment and she was crying and she was like, "Baby, you're not gonna believe it." I'm like, "Yo, what's wrong?" She said, "Well, you're not gonna believe it. I lost my job." And it's like, what? That's thing that hits you in the chest. Like, when you have responsibility, when you lost a job, you're by yourself. But when you have a responsibility now, you have house, you have light bills. And when you hear these words like, "I don't have a job anymore," that thing just hit you in the chest. You start thinking about, how am I going to pay the light? How am I going to pay the bill? And the only thing that can think to your mind is, how can I get another job? But when you become an entrepreneur now, you realize you can create income out of your creativity. I don't know if any of you have lost a job before and you felt that when you hear this word, like, you fired, I don't know how that made you feel. Yeah. And either like, oh, you know, company has to size down, or we decided to move a different direction.
You're giving me PTSD, Keder. You're giving me PTSD, man.
I know, right? It's crazy, bro. I remember walking on my wife and she's like, "Man, I lost the job." And I'm like, "Oh my God." You know, I'm like, man, that's why when I figured this path and I said, this can allow me to never let that moment happen again, man, that was the secret. I was going to do everything that was required. I was going to watch every training. I was going to do everything. When I first heard that, it's like, this is it. This thing can change my life. The ceiling of this thing is to a whole next level, right? So that's what I'm talking to you guys right now. 10 videos per day on TikTok. One of them got to go viral. Exactly. So if you get to that stage where it's like you have a blueprint that you can follow, well, when that moment happens, it's like, hey, I remember when I lost my job, when it was time for me to leave, they said, "You got to go." I was more than excited because I already had a blueprint. I was no longer saying, how am I going to survive? How am I going to eat? How am I going to pay for my job? How am I going to pay for my car? You know? So once you have a blueprint, like someone just mentioned a blueprint, do 10 videos a day. That's probably something that's working for your TikTok, right? Once you have a blueprint now, you have something that's working, you can follow this stuff and you can take it to the next level. The thing I didn't know then was I didn't know you can take your knowledge, expertise, interest, passion, and turn them into business that can pay you for a lifetime. That's how I got introduced to this whole brand building. You know, I started doing, you know, online marketing, network marketing. I was joining company from company one, company B. From 2012, I was joining this company. I would build a team, get people on board, and the company shut down. And then I'm like, oh, what the heck? Now all those people think I'm a liar. They're like, they're not making no money. Or I joined company B and introduced them to company B. I sign up, get a bunch of people on board, start training them, boom. The company changed the comp plan. You're not getting paid $10,000 a month anymore. You're only gonna make $1,000. So I was just going from those businesses, but I didn't know I can use my passion, my expertise, my interest, and turn those things into business. That's how I got introduced to really building a brand. So my wife is the first reason why I got introduced to the process that I'm currently helping a lot of people with, which is building a monetized brand without showing our faces. My wife, when our baby got born, I have twin daughters. By the grace of God, I'm grateful for them. I have twin daughters and a little young girl. She's 6 years old now. My twin daughters got born in 2014. And when it was their first birthday, my wife said, hey, listen, I'm gonna do the birthday party, right? I'm gonna do the birthday party. Let me go on YouTube. Let me see some videos, DIY people put together. I can do that for myself, for them as a birthday gift. So I was like, all right, cool, no problem. I'll get the place and we won't have to get a designer for the place. You'll do it. Sure, all right, great, no problem. I'll do that. So she did that. Everybody came to the party and I'm over there telling everybody, you know, do you like the place? They're like, oh my God, who did this? Who did this? And my wife was like, hey, please don't tell them it's me, because she didn't think that it was great. And people was like, man, this is so great. You know, your wife should do that for a living or something like that. See, that started to sparkle a little bit of interest, but I didn't pay attention to that. She didn't pay attention to that. She kept on going with life. And then we had our second baby. So life went by. 2 years later, we had our second baby. I was still building my businesses again. I was building those businesses, learn the infrastructure, understanding sales, understanding how to get traffic online, you know, but I want to tell you guys about the brand building aspect, because we've done so many other things in business, but the brand building aspect, I feel like a lot of people can just take advantage of that stuff right now. So when our second baby was 1 year old, we had a third baby because we had twins on the first go. Our second baby, which is our third baby, she turned 1. My wife said the same thing. Hey, you know what? I'll just go ahead and let me do the decor. Let me get a place. So when she got a place, right? So she got a place, and then out of the place, when she did the decor, same thing happened. People asked her how she did that. And she was like, oh my God, I just went on YouTube and I watched the video. So somebody was walking by and saw it and told her, hey, can you do my daughter's wedding? Because it's the next coming up month. My daughter's getting married. Can you do her wedding? The thing is, I'm going to tell you, out of something unexpected, you know, something great can happen, you know, because some of you right now, you might be going through a hard time. And guess what? The hard time is going to open up the door for your prime time. Even though you're going through hard times right now, you're going through the process and it's not happening for you. Sometimes you got to go to the process so you can learn, right? That's what's going to open up the door for you so you can get to the next level. But you need a blueprint. So if you're listening to me right now, you need a blueprint. And I know Mike shared different blueprints with you guys and stuff that's happening. So when the person walked by and told my wife, listen, I want you to do my daughter's wedding. So my wife was like, all right, cool, I'll do it. A month later, she got all the money, getting excited. She's so excited about, you know, doing this wedding. That's her first gig. She asked me if she should do it. I'm like, go for it. You know, why not? It's an opportunity. Boom. A month later, the person called and said, hey, listen, we have somebody else to do the wedding. I'm sorry, blah, 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 blah. So my wife was devastated. And she asked me, what should I do? And I told her, well, just give the money back. And since you already have all this stuff, you have a YouTube channel, why don't you just make a YouTube video, just like the person that you learned from, maybe share the stuff out there. You never know what's going to happen. Boom. She made a video, boom, 100,000 views. I was like, wait, stop right there. You got 100,000 views of making one video in just one day. I was like, wait, there's something here. I told her, do another one. She did another video, 100,000 views. Again, I was like, okay, obviously there's a group of people here that are interested into this stuff. See, like some people mention like 10 videos on TikTok, and sometimes like people will go like, well, that's outrageous. Why do you want to do 10 videos a day? If you don't have a process, you might be in the testing phase. Before you scale, you have to test. So, but once you find what's working, it's easy for you to scale because you're not scaling crap, right? There's a saying, like if you're doing Facebook ads and you want to scale ads that are not working for you, you're never going to get results. But if you scale something that's working, you can spend $10 and make 100,000. I mean, let's say 10,000. You can spend $10 and make 10,000. And I had that happen to me in the past where we spent $10 on something, we made 10,000. It's crazy, right? If you have the right system and the right tools in place. So you need a blueprint. You need a blueprint. So to me, a blueprint is a process that's been recorded, it's been repeated, it's been reported, and it's been retested. That's what I do. When I find processes that works, they no longer luck. Like, I love the fact that Mike has a system, right? Everybody that's succeeding, they have a system. Do you guys have a blueprint that's watching? Do you have a blueprint? You guys have a blueprint. A blueprint is a process that's been recorded, it's been repeated, it's been retested, and it's been reported. So whenever I find luck, people say, hey, Keder, you're lucky, or Mike, you're lucky, or, you know, Brendan, you're lucky. But what we do when we find luck, here's what we do with luck. That's how we turn it into a blueprint. We record the process. We make sure if it's mental note that we're going to take, like, okay, I see how this thing works. Okay, I see when I make 10 videos, there's one of them that pop. So, okay, that one video that pop, maybe I need to make more video like this one so we can get 2 or 3 that pops, right? So when we do something, we record the process, whether it's mental note, whether it's recording notes, whether it's the process note, and then we repeat the process. We got to go and repeat it. So we got to go and do it again. And so if you do something once, it could be luck. But if you keep getting the same results, something is telling you something. It's being repeated. And then what we do, I retest it because I usually get a group of people like Mike have right now. We have a group of people that retest the process. That's how we know, like, you guys can make $1 million. Like, everybody else on the line that can make $1 million. It's a process. We just follow the process. And then now we're reporting, we're telling people, hey, this is what I did. This is how you could do it too. This is how this stuff is going to work for you. But sometimes being on that end of the spectrum, I remember being on a webinar and hearing other people say, you can make $1 million. I say, yeah, shush. Like, I'm not you. I don't have the process. I don't have the smile. I don't have the charisma. I don't have the tool, whatever. We have all the excuses. But in reality, I was that person. And now I'm on the other end telling you this, and I'm smiling now because it's like there's one of you, some of you is going to take that message and you're going to go like, yeah, this is going to be the year. I'm going to make $1 million this year. Ain't nobody going to stop me. I'm going to make it happen. You're going to. Yep. So when we find luck, we turn them into blueprints. Okay. We don't do luck anymore. We record the process. We repeat the process, we retest it with a group of people, and then we reported it. So last year, I helped 12 people become a millionaire, and I documented the process. The process is documented. That's why, you know, I want to give a big shout out to people like Mike, who's like sharing his blueprint with you guys, you know, and now you guys can go and perfect it. You guys can take action. And then in the process, you're going to perfect the process, because there's a saying that I learned that says perfection is the enemy of progress. Because if you take action, you know, it's not going to be perfect in the beginning, but as you keep going in the process, it's going to get better because you're going to get better. And as you get better, guess what? The results are going to get faster because you become much more better at what you do. That's why if someone is doing 10 TikTok video a day, I'm like, great, awesome, push for it. Because to some other people, that's like extreme. Why would you want to do 10 TikTok videos a day? You're testing, you're finding exactly what's going to work. Then when you get to make one a day, you know exactly which button to push, which one works, how TikTok works, how the ad works, because you've been testing long enough now. The success will come to you a lot faster. You know, that's the crazy thing. Once you have that belief, guys, that's how your mind is going to change. And belief is such a big thing because you cannot do it. If you don't believe, you cannot do it. It's a life principle. That's why even in the Bible, Jesus always told people whenever he did something for them, you know, whether it was healing, whether it was providing for them, whether it was giving them something, he often told them that your faith is what create this manifestation. Like, belief is so powerful. My man, Van Taylor, I love listening to him because he's so strong into having the right belief and having the right system in place. I remember he was talking the other day, talking about becoming a charismatic leader. You know how when you become a charismatic leader, you have an attractive message. People will be attracted to your message. But some of us, we are not at the stage where we can be charismatic. We're not at the stage where our message is compelling, where people want to buy from us, where people want to feel, but you can still make $1 million. It's crazy. You can still build $1 million business because of the access of the tools and your willingness to learn and take action. And you can still thrive and make things happen in this lifetime, man, in this lifetime. So Brendan, I don't know if you want me to keep going, man, because it's like,
hey, Keder, what would be beautiful, man, because I could tell these people are fired up and they're engaged with your conversation, man. I say we run like a 2-3 minute Q&A, and we'll wrap this up here shortly. But I'd love if you guys want to post in the chat a question, and we can roll through this. But I wanted to ask a question, my first and foremost. So when your wife came out with that video, and you guys had obviously the proven concept and the proven blueprint, what was the plan of action or the steps that you guys lined out for yourself to turn that into a $1 million idea, $1 million business? What were like the steps, like behind the scenes? What were you guys doing, and how were you mapping out what she would do every day or every week to make sure that she took that 100,000 views in the one day and duplicated it multiple times over? What was the next steps?
All right, powerful. I love this question. So when it comes to online business, the internet brings us all together. Traffic generation is like the #1 step. If you can get traffic unlocked, which is 90% of the equation, that's why people that can get traffic, even if they don't know how to sell, they can still make some money. They might not make all the money they can possibly make, but if you're testing and you see something that can actually bring you traffic, the first step now is to do some research. So let's say right now you have an idea. Let's say you're a vegan and you want to build a brand in the vegan. Like, I want to build a brand in the vegan. So I'll go and start posting content about vegan, whether it's content that I create, whether it's content that I aggregated. I will still post content so I can find where can I find my audience. Once I find the audience on one platform, I just need to break through on one. You don't even need to break through on all the platform. If you want to do vegan content, you start creating content on Instagram or YouTube, Facebook. You just need one platform to pop. Once you get one platform to pop, now you need to look at your audience. Now we want to move them into community like we have right now. We have a community where we have a communication. It's not just a one-way street no longer. It's like me talking to you, you talking to me. So when my wife saw that, hey, we had that massive amount of views on YouTube, what we do, we went on Facebook and start searching for DIY, event planning, weddings. And we started finding out groups of people. I call them cluster. You start finding a cluster of traffic, cluster of people that groups themselves together. And a lot of those groups, they just blow up. So what we did was, you need a community. So once we get traffic, okay, you build a community, and then you monetize it. There's a 3 simple step. You get traffic. Once you can get traffic, right? You find the traffic, and then we did some research and found a girl that had 100,000 people in a Facebook group, and she was selling downloadable digital products where you can just download it. And she sold 20,000 at $20. She did $400,000. She's not even a marketer. She didn't know what she was doing. And I'm like, oh my God. The internet is making it so possible for people to have one big idea, cluster a bunch of people behind it, and then just monetize that. So that's the blueprint that we follow. Once you have the traffic, the skills that you're learning right now will just make you millions faster. Like if you learn how to sell, you understand products, you understand levels of products, then you can just crush it, because the stuff that you want here, guys, is making your reality to get back to the belief that I was saying. Your life is always trying to do 2 things. Your life is always either adjusting to your mental reality or is being constant to your current identity. So you either adjusting to your mental reality, because in your mind, if you don't think you could do it, you're always going to find yourself to self-sabotage, to like, well, it's not going to happen for me. This guy's crap or whatever. Mike's training is crap. Or I can't find the success. You always adjusting to your mental reality. That's why changing our mind is so powerful. That's why reading people that have success, you start installing the stuff in your mind, you become that thing. That's so powerful that when you become that thing, it's like this, you become unstoppable now, because now your current identity now you're gonna be constant to your current identity because that's who you are. It's no longer about, hey, this business didn't work, this model didn't work. How am I gonna, this didn't work, or Mike's training sucks, or this Brendan whatever sucks. It's like once you become that person, it's impossible for you to fail. It's impossible, and it's awesome to be saying this thing. And to be that person 10 years ago, listening to it and still doubting myself. Yeah, I know this guy. Like, I'm talking to me right now. I'm not even talking to you guys because I know some of you might be me 10 years ago. I'm talking to myself 10 years ago saying, dude, you can get anything that you want. Like, you can literally change your family's life. Like, girl, whoever you are, you can really be that person that shift everything for your family, where you're going to build generational wealth, where the next generation will never have to work for somebody because someone in their family step up, and that person was you. It sucks that we have the burden. Sometimes we wish our fathers or our great-grandfather was the one that find the vision, but you have the seed. So once you have the seed, man, that's how we go to the next level.
Keder, you get me fired up, man. Let's go. One or two more questions here. Go ahead.
What's your best motivational quote?
What's my best motivational quote?
Quote. Yep. What's your best motivational quote?
Oh man, I got so many of them, man.
The best one to get the day started.
The best one.
The
best one, I have to say, like, it's okay. I'm gonna give you. I was looking for combination. It's kind of long, right? It's kind of long because sometimes I go through. I was looking for combination this year, right? I was looking for combination because every time the year start, I look for a word combination, something that I'm gonna be saying throughout the whole year just to keep me going. That's the focus. That's the one thing, right? The one word, the one thing, like the book, the one thing, the one word. And the best thing that I came up with was God plus my best self, because God is unstoppable. If you have your best self, a lot of the time we're doing things and we giving our mediocre self, our fearful self, our lower self, lower self. We already know God is going to take care of his part because he's the best. He's the best creator of all time, right? He's the man. If he's with you, there's nothing that can stop you, but that's still required. If you stepping into your greatness, you stepping into your best self, man, it's freaking explosion. So God plus your best self, you are unstoppable.
Amen. Amen. Amen.
Thank you.
I got a question.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So I've messed around with YouTube, like, and if I was like, I just wanted to make YouTube videos just to, like, see what happened just for fun. And, I like editing videos just for fun. And something I thought I would do was like motivational videos, right? So, I put together, music from epidemics, soundtracks, put together, like, free clips off of Pixel. And, I just messed around with it. But what I found was that it took a lot of time to do all of that stuff. And, just to go outsource and look for, like, bits and pieces of like, people speaking and, like, dissecting the interviews and cutting it all up. Is there something that, like, people are doing that make that process fast with the YouTube automation? Is there any way to automate that?
Okay, so YouTube automation, like, on that process, if you want to do YouTube automation, is a process that you can do by itself. Yeah. Me personally, I like to focus on brand building, because when you build a brand, it has every aspect. It has Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and I know it's a little bit more tricky because one can pop before the other. So what I would do personally, whenever I start a brand, is if I'm going to start on YouTube, I want to build all the other platforms at the same time. So we want to conduct the traffic. We don't want to just leave them on YouTube. We want to get them on our list. We want to send them to follow us on Instagram, follow us on TikTok, so that we can then have them in multiple different places. So you can concentrate your effort in one spot. And there's this concept called the 1,000. So if you can get your first 1,000, there's a concept that you can use to help to get the 1,000 to go get you your next 10,000. So, like, what we would do is whenever we build a brand, we'll get our first 1,000. So for most people, they cannot picture 100,000 or a million followers. Like, it's a lot, right, in your mind right now. So what I would say, if we're going to start making videos, have an objective in mind. And the objective is to get 1,000 subscribers, 1,000 followers, 1,000 subscribers. Once we get to that, I want to take that 1,000 subscribers and make them go get me 10,000. And how we do that, usually we'll run like some type of giveaway with a big promise at the end, something they want, like with a big prize, with something that is useful to them, that they're going to go do the work and find me similar people. So if we run like a giveaway at the end, so if I'm doing motivational, maybe I'll buy them $500 worth of top 100 motivational books. I'll buy them all and I'm going to send them to your house. But in order for you to do that, you need to go get me 5 friends that's into motivation and get them to follow my YouTube, get them to follow my Facebook, Instagram, and then everything will blow up because 5 get 5 get 5 get 5. And you spend so much less on ads than this. I just get, bro.
Hey, that's a knife.
Before it ends,
a freaking bomb.
Yo, if one of these guys don't implement that right now, I don't know what they're doing in life. Keder.
before the video ends, can you say your YouTube channel again?
It's my name, Keder Cormier.
Which
Keder
one?
Cormier? Okay.
I have many. It's my main one. I mean, we have brands and other stuff that I don't show my face. Like on my YouTube channel, I just make videos every now and then, just to help people like this type of content.
Love it. Keder, I told you I wouldn't take up your whole day, man. I know we've got some meetings to step into after this, and I want to be respectful of all that. Everyone, if you guys can go ahead and unmute yourself, let's give a huge round of applause. Let's give a farewell to our boy Keder.
Thanks, Keder. Appreciate it.
You guys will be seeing him a lot more.
Appreciate it.
It was awesome. It was awesome.
Thanks, Keder.
Thanks, Keder.
Where can they find you,
everybody. Appreciate it.
Where can they